welcome back to They Love. If you don't know, my name is Destiny. I am with both They Love Streaming and Behind the Reel. They Love Streaming is where we review any streaming TV show or movie that we're interested in. We cover them on our website and on this channel. And Behind the Reel is my personal movie blog that I started, where I cover any movie that is released straight to theaters. I talk about the Hollywood business because that's what interests me and that's what interests you. I link both of those websites down below. And like today, since Raya and the Last Dragon is a movie that premiered both on Disney Plus and in theaters, today we're with Behind the Reel. Raya and the Last Dragon is an exhilarating action adventure fantasy with the epic scope and story that kept my attention from beginning to end. The film not only introduces us to a new Disney princess, the courageous Raya, but to the land of Kumandra, a world that I grew to love in only an hour and 30 minutes, and that I would love to spend hours upon hours in. Guys, I love this movie, and this is going to be a video of me just telling you why I love it and why you should watch it if you haven't watched it yet. If you have watched it, I hope you enjoyed this review and we just can both love this movie together. Now, before I get into talking about the film itself, Raya and the Last Dragon, I want to talk about the leadership at Disney Animation because I've been noticing something with these last few Disney Animation films. And it's also something that I wish other studios would incorporate. So, if you don't know, the leadership at Disney Animation is actually Jennifer Lee, who worked on Frozen. Jennifer Lee, she's actually the head of Disney Animation now. She's the chief creative officer. So that means she has a hand in all the pies of like the movies that Disney Animation is producing and giving to us. It's kind of like, you know, Kevin Feige for Marvel. He's the overall producer. He has, you know, the kind of last say in everything. And I feel like other studios, especially DC, oh gosh, I love DC, especially with the Snyder Cut. I'm very excited for that. You know that if you watch any of my videos, if you're on my Twitter, you know. But I really wish DC and even Warner Brothers in general would be less complicated with their leadership. Because I feel like, I was just talking about this with Santi earlier, but do you think, I think kind of, that we're kind of already stepping into a new Disney Renaissance. So if you don't know, the last Disney Renaissance was from 1989 to 1999, and it started with The Little Mermaid and ended with Tarzan. Those were the movies like The Lion King, Pocahontas, Beauty and the Beast, Aladdin, like those amazing movies, right? So even Mulan, Hercules, that whole era, you know, all the movies that we remember from the nostalgia movies. So I was thinking, are we stepping to a new Disney Renaissance? Because Raya and the Last Dragon is so amazing. And it makes me think of, like, especially with the princess movies, like Princess and the Frog, Tangled, Frozen, Moana, and now we have Raya and the Last Dragon. And even though Pixar is a separate studio, it's still under Disney, even though it's under separate leadership. But even with Pixar, we had Coco, Onward, even Soul, all amazing animated films, just quality films. And especially with films like Soul, Coco, Moana, and now Raya and the Last Dragon, I do like that they represent different communities, and not only that they represent them, but they do it so well in just a respectful way. Because when, especially with, I think was Moana the first one, really, I guess, when Disney kind of stepped more into adapting stories from maybe different parts of the world representing different people, I was just skeptical about it because I'm just used to be disappointed when it comes to things like that. With Raya and the Last Dragon, and it made me kind of go back and reflect on all these other movies that have been done so well and so artfully made, but they're so respectful to the community that they're representing. At least to me. Again, with Raya and the Last Dragon, is representing like Southeast Asian communities. So if you are Southeast Asian, just let me know, because I'm an outsider in this capacity. So comment down below and let me know if you think Raya and the Last Dragon did a really good job, because as an outsider I did, but I would want to know like what you think. Now into Raya and the Last Dragon. One thing I did want to know of what I feel what makes Raya and the Last Dragon so, like, work so well is that you have people, the directors and writers, that usually work in live action, and they come over to the animations. Because this movie was directed by Don Hall and Carlos Lopez Estrada, and Don Hall has worked in animation before. He's like a long-standing member at Disney Animation. But Estrada, his first directorial debut film was Blind Spotting, and both the writers for this film, Raya and the Last Dragon, are live action writers. One, I believe, even worked on Crazy Rich Asians. So I think that's actually a really good mix, like bringing in live action writers and directors, then mixing them with experienced animators, so they just create something so well crafted. Again, I just love Raya and the Last Dragon, and that's one of the main reasons I love Raya and the Last Dragon, is because there's so many scenes and shots where you can see that the same respect that would be given to a live action movie, like the way it's framed, it looks like a live action film. Even the quality of the animation, there were so many times where I'm like, man, that hair, even the hair strands looks so real. Which I really respect. The animation I'll get to later, but the animation on this film, so amazing. Again, I really love that Raya and the Last Dragon is action, adventure, fantasy. There's even some Western kind of themes to it as well, because Raya is like the lone warrior, and then she has her enemy who is her main adversary, who's adventuring after her. I really love that. And even though the film itself is only an hour, not including, of course, the credits, the film itself is only an hour and 30 minutes long, but it utilizes every single minute. I cannot take my eyes off the screen. It was just fantastic. And most people are comparing this to Avatar: The Last Airbender. And if you saw my video about Paramount Plus and the new launch of Avatar Studios, you know I'm a massive fan of Avatar: The Last Airbender, and I can see the comparisons, but it doesn't feel like it's ripping off Avatar: The Last Airbender. It just I feel like that's just gonna be on the automatic comparison, because both are inspired by East Asian cultures. It doesn't feel like a rip-off, or it's just taking something from that, especially since Avatar: The Last Airbender was kind of made for Westerners. So, and where I feel Raya and the Last Dragon, well, yes, it's made by like a Western Hollywood studio, is also very, I feel, again, let me know, but I feel it's very respectful to East Asian culture. So again, I see where the comparisons are coming from, but I don't feel like it's disrespectful to Avatar: The Last Airbender in any way. Oh yeah, and now another thing I had to mention, of course, I think the voice work of everyone in this cast is amazing, but my main standouts were Kelly Marie Tran, Awkwafina, Gemma Chan, Benedict Wong, and Daniel Dae Kim. Daniel Dae Kim, even though his role was smaller, he was Raya's dad, I thought it was fantastic. Even the animation on Raya's dad, his styling, the costume work, even his fight sequences were so wonderful, and that leads me into the perfection that is this animation. I love the animation on this movie. And another small thing, it's weird that I noticed this so much, and I haven't seen anyone else commenting on it yet, but I love even how the hair looks in Raya and the Last Dragon. I love how Raya's hair looks in certain different scenes. It doesn't look the same in every single scene, you know? Even when she's out in the desert, you can see her hair strands and the humidity. Even when it rains, you can see it's different looking texture because it's wet. Like, I don't know why I love it. I love when hair is animated that way. I don't know why, but it's just so great. But the character, that leads me into the character animation. I believe all the characters are animated well, not just with their movements, but how they look, their clothing, and the different palaces of the different lands of Kumandra. So beautiful. Can I please visit? Please. It looks so amazing. And again, I love the realism of it, but I also love that it does with animation, it's just sometimes live action can't do what animation can do and vice versa, but oh gosh, the animation on this movie is just so beautiful. I would definitely watch this movie again. I will. And another thing that's animated great are all the fight sequences, all the action sequences. Every time there was any kind of fight sequence, I just couldn't take my eyes off the screen. They were so well done. You could feel every different blow if there was a fight sequence. It was, again, fantastic. I love everything about this movie. I'm just trying to convince you to watch it if you haven't watched it yet, honestly. Ultimately, I think Raya and the Last Dragon is very, very thrilling, and it has a great emotional core. Again, it wowed me, and it even made me cry. Not cry as in like sobbing, oh my gosh, I'm so hurt, but there was a couple tears near the end. I just love the characters in Raya and the Last Dragon so much that when the movie finished and I kind of reflected on it, I think well, actually, you know what? I know Raya is officially my new favorite Disney princess because I love Raya so much. Not just the way she looks, the way she's animated, the way she fights, the way her hair looks, her costumes. I love how courageous she is. Raya, fantastic. Perfect. Now, as I said, Raya and the Last Dragon actually premiered both on Disney Plus Premier Access and in theaters. But if you don't have a theater near you, or if your theater near you is still not open, I think that the Disney Plus Premier Access, even though it is $30, it's definitely worth it for me because that's what I did. I will be rewatching this probably several times. I really enjoyed it. I think you will too, especially if you watch it with other people as well. So again, that makes it worth the $30. You have your own at-home concessions. So if you can't go out and see this in the movies, please watch on Disney Plus. It's so amazing. I can't say enough good things about Raya and the Last Dragon. So if you have watched Raya and the Last Dragon, what do you think about it? Comment down below, let me know. Please like this video, share it, and subscribe to the channel for more content. See you guys later.